RIP version 2. Properties of RIP version 2. Most important property is it's a classless protocol. So again, let's recap. RIP version 1 was a classful routing protocol. Why? Only reason why it was a classful routing protocol is it was dependent on the receiver to investigate, determine, and then make a conclusion whether it is able to accept a subnet or not. As such, RIP version 1 would send the subnet. It would send the IP address. That IP address can be major network or subnet or a host address. But it would not send the subnet mask. And for that reason, the receiving router would make a comparison with an existing subnet mask on one of its interface and then determine whether the received route is a network, a subnetwork, or a host route. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Wonderful. Now, RIP version 2 has the advantage that most important difference is that it sends a subnet mask information also with it. So first, let's draw the RIP packet again, and then we will see what are the differences in it. So 4-byte header.
Yes, sir.
I need help with this. You gonna help me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Version, command,
Command.
1 byte, version,
Version.
1 byte, and all zeros.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
This is the header.
Yes, sir.
Followed by
AF5. 2 bytes. Zeros. IP address. All zeros. Metric.
See, when I started drawing this, I was having a doubt that I don't remember. But when I started drawing it, I was in fact in my mind knowing that this is the field which is coming in. Because I had marked it up. No? Right, Pankaj? Let's leave that thing. Okay, so the first important difference is the subnet field. Subnet address field. Where does it come? Here or here?
After IP.
After IP.
This one gets converted into subnet address, subnet mask. Now we know that this is for one network.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, if there is another network, we need to have another 20 bytes.
20 bytes.
This would again be AFI
0.
0, whatever it is, IP address, subnet mask, zeros and metric. Right?
Some
Yes.
these are changes that AF
What is that?
all zeros is.
I know, we are going one by one. Right? We don't want to put all the things together. I know. So what have we drawn? Some part of it, modified packet of it, we've drawn.
Yes, sir.
We modify the other fields also as Mayur said, but in a bit.
Yes, sir.
So what is it? Here's the R1. This is switch. And what is this? R2. So this is what network? 192.168.10 dot 64/26. Let us see if you can tell me what is happening here. And this is what? Which network? This network. RIP version 1. What was this in?
10.168.10.0.
10.0.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
At classful boundary.
Yes.
Because two different networks.
Someone.
That's what it will say.
Yes.
Right? RIP version 2, what will it say? So in RIP version 1 there was no subnet mask. This was zeros, right?
Yes, sir.
Zeros. Here also zeros. So what would have sent? 192, 168.
10.0.
Let me change it. 172.16 dot. RIP version 1 would send what? 172.16.0. That would have sent. Right? So that's what we would have sent. In this case, summarizing it. RIP version 1 automatically summarizes the network boundary. In this case, the zeros were there. Now, what will happen in this case is this will send this is what R1 will send.
Yes, sir.
And of course, it has to send this also entry.
10.0.0.0.
Or let me put that instead of this. What is there here? There is another router. R3, and there is a switch here. This is what network? 20 network. So let us say that. So what is it? What will this send?
0.0.0.0.
Which side? Here. Correct?
Yes.
R3 is saying 20 is directly connected to me. So R1 will install it 1. But advertisers 2.
Yes, sir.
Now 172, 160. This is at directly connected. So it is advertising in 1. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So now when R2 receives this update, it's already having the subnet mask with it. Is it going to depend on any of these interfaces
No,
to make a judgment?
No.
It's not. So that's an advantage. Similarly, for this one. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now let's go back and look at the case. I'll rub the spot, okay? Go back and look at the case when you had this thing, something like this. We did this, right? And we did it, right?
Yes, sir.
So what will this send in this case? This will send 172.16.10.0/26
Yes, sir.
along with the subnet mask.
Yes, sir.
Right? So this R2 will know that it is what? Subnet number, first subnet,
Yes, sir.
10.0 subnet.
Yes, sir.
Right? And similarly, this will send what? It will send 172.16.10.64 along with 255.255.255.192. So R2 will again know that this is a subnet
Yes, sir.
and exists towards what? This direction. This is what? FS0/0. So now is there a problem with discontinuous networks?
No.
So this problem is also solved with the help of subnet mask.
Yes, sir.
So this property is known as classless. Intra-domain? Intra-domain. Intra. Again, we have to check this word. Whether what exactly it is. But the short form is this CIDR. right? See, we always are in the term of CIDR,
Yes.
that whenever we say it's very clearly said, class is inter-domain routing. I think it's most likely intra-domain routing because it's a intra-domain. Intra means within the domain. Inter means outside, between two or more domains. So it's most likely class is intra-domain routing. So RIP version 1 is a classful routing protocol, right? RIP version 2 is a classless routing protocol. Which one supports CIDR? RIP version 1 or RIP version 2? RIP version 2. Okay. Which one uses VLSM to the best? RIP version 1, can it also use VLSM? Yes. As long as the subnet masks on different interfaces for the networks are symmetrical,
Yes, sir.
then it can. So this is one property done. Next property will come is what? Next one. This one?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
So we are in RIP version 2, we are taking another field of, right? So previously this was zeros,
Yes, sir.
so we covered this field.
Yes.
The other field that we are going to now say is also different, is this second zeros field, which is next hop. What is next hop? Similarly, this will also change. Next hop. Now, of course, we are just putting the name of the field. Now, what is going to be next hop? So, R2 is receiving information about 172.16.10.0 from 20.0.0.1. Receiving the information from this. So, naturally, you will say the next hop value should be 20.0.0.1. That's what you will think, but that is not the case. That is not the case. So, what is this? The packet, RIP packet, right? Now, when you see the debugging, when you see the debug IP RIP, you see that, right, received from this particular IP address. Further in the routing table, you see, right, when you do a show IP route, you see the particular network via a particular address on a particular interface. So, how is that IP address learned? Based on the IP packet's source address. Remember that?
Yes, sir.
When R1 is sending an R2 to R2 a RIP packet, it's sending it first of all, it's sending an Ethernet frame. Correct?
Yes, sir.
And in that Ethernet frame, there is a IP packet, which has a source IP and a destination IP.
Yes, sir.
Based on that source IP, it was learning that. Alright?
Yes, sir.
So, if until unless we have modified anything for this field remains what?
Zeros.
Not all zeros. 0.0.0.0. Okay, there is a difference between all zeros and 0.0.0. That means it is coming from the same place where the update has come from. This field of all zeros means nothing has changed. It is coming from the same IP address as the from where the packet has come.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly here, 0.0.0.0. Let me elaborate on this thing. Why are we having this thing? Why are we having this concept about it? Okay. Let me shrink this a little bit. Possible? Huh? What is this network? 10 network. This is dot 1, this is dot 2, this is dot 3. And this is your what network? 20 network. My bad. This is the same network. This is
20.
This is dot 1, this is dot 2. Fine. And this is
30.
dot 1, dot 2. So if all of them are running RIP, then 20 network will be advertised by R3 at a hop count of
One.
1. Right? Yes or no?
Yes,
sir.
And 20 network via R4 will be advertised to R2 at a hop count of 1.
Yes, sir.
And this will advertise at a hop count of 2.
2.
Right? Let me further modify this diagram. What is this? Switch. There is the PC. What network is this?
10.
This is 10 network. Which network? This. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
This is. And what is this network?
30.
20.
This 20 network. Flash
8.
dot 1, dot 2, and this is dot 3. So what is the IP address for this?
20.0.0.3.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So in this case, R4 is advertising 20 network at a hop count of 1.
Yes.
So R2 installs it at a hop count of 1
Yes. Yes, and it will like
and will advertise this on towards this at the hop count of 2. Whereas R3 will advertise to 20 network at the hop count of 1.
1.
And R1 will receive what? 2 updates.
Yes.
One with a hop count of 2, one with a hop count of 1. Which will it keep?
1.
1.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And will say what? In this case. And in this case, what will it do? It will say with the hop count, this is 8. Sorry, 255.
Not 0, not 0, not 0.
The hop count of 1
Yes.
is the one which will come from here.
Yes.
And it will keep it. Whereas it would have come from here as 2.
2. Yes.
And who would have advertised this? Who is advertising this part?
R3.
10.0.0.3. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And who's advertising this one? 10.0.0.2 with a hop count of 2.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
But R1 chose it using its RIP logic. It said, I am going to keep the lowest hop count and it is accepting this one.
Yes, sir.
So in its routing table, what will it show? R 20.0.0.0, right?
Yes, sir.
Via 10 dot
3.
0, not 0, not 0.
on.
F is equal
That's what it will like.
Yes.
Okay, that's what it will do.
Yes.
Ideally. Now imagine that somehow R3 is not running RIP. Right? So for this to run RIP, what we required to do? We had to give 2 statements and maybe not 0. But we are not doing this. We are not running RIP on it. But does R3 know that that 10 network is directly connected?
Yes, sir.
Does R3 know that 20 network is directly connected?
Yes.
So if somehow a packet comes to R3 for 20 network, for example, comes for 20.0.0.3, it will be able to forward it
Yes.
Yes, sir.
if somehow it comes to it. Right? But it is not running what? RIP. That means it is not able to advertise hop count of 1.
Yes.
So the best thing for R1 is what? Hop count of 2.
Yes.
And in that case, what would be the next hop? Via this. If, right, now that R3 is not running RIP, so where is R1 getting the information about 20 network? Via R2. So the next hop is what? Via 2. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
So it will send the packet towards it.
Yes.
That means it will do a ARC for this
Yes.
MAC address. R3, R2 will receive the packet.
Yes.
The frame decapsulated, right or not?
Yes,
And
sir.
then give it to the IP layer. IP layer will say, oh, 20 network is in this direction
Yes.
according to my RIP
Yes.
protocol routing table.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Let me repeat this. Where are we getting confused?
Next.
This is not running RIP. But R3 knows where 20 is and where 10 is because directly connected.
Yes.
And because R3 is not running and this does not exist from R1, is the R1 getting any RIP update like this? No. So where is it getting from? R2. So obviously the next hop in this routing table is this
Yes.
with a hop count of 2. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes.
So whatever packet, if there is a PC here, with whatever it is, PC2 wants to send to this one, it will send it to this one.
Yes.
R1 will forward it where? Here, right?
Yes.
Towards R2. How will it forward it? First of all, it will ask for the MAC address for it.
Yes.
It will ask for the MAC address for what? This IP address.
Yes, sir.
And how did it learn this IP address? Because there was an update packet coming from here whose source IP was. Right? That's how it came to know. So that's why it resolves the R and then moves on.
Yes.
R2 obviously has the same thing. It knows that R4 had advertised to it.
Yes.
That 20 network is at hop count of 1.
Yes.
So it forwards it here and then it moves on. Fine?
Yes, sir.
This is the logic.
Yes.
So great. So in this condition we know that even though there is a better, efficient, shorter path via R3, we are sending it through a longer path. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Right? So we want to change that and we want to configure something on R1 which says that, okay, even though you are getting the path from here, please use this IP address. That's the next step. Right? So we are not learning this information from RIP. Are we learning this information via RIP?
No.
We are just configuring something on R1 saying that please use next hop as 10.0.0.3 for what? Any packets for 10 network. For 20 network. Let me repeat again. The best path is this
Yes.
as of now with a hop count of 2.
Yes, sir.
With the R1 to R1's knowledge, what is the best path for 20 network? Using in its routing table, using RIP is with a hop count of 2.
Yes.
But as a network administrator, we know that, even though we are not running on this is the shorter path.
Yes.
Only one hop count.
Yes, sir.
So what we can say is, on here we can do some configuration saying, please for going to 20 network, use the next hop as,
10.0.3.
this is like a static route.
Yes.
Same funda something like,
Yes, sir. Yes.
something like that, right, for this. In the RIP protocol we configure, alright. So what happens is, this one, without even getting any information from here, it is still getting hop count of 2, right. It advertises, it sends the packets here. This obviously knows where the 20 network is because it is directly connected to center. Alright.
Yes.
In this case, what is the next hop address field?
10.0.0.3.
So let me correct myself. Alright, let me correct myself. We don't do the configuration here. We do the configuration on this. On R2. We tell in our update, R2 is telling in its update to R1, please use 10.0.03 as the next hop for reaching this network with this subnet mask. Do you understand? Let me repeat. If I am going to configure something on here, on the routing protocol RIP, right? So what is it going to say? If this was the case, what would be the next hop? This.
Yes, sir.
Alright? But now on R2 is sending an update saying that please use this as the next hop for reaching this network. We are having a subnet mask of this. So what is going to be the next hop?
3.
Is this clear now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Namika? Not clear. On R2, Who's receiving the updated packet? R1. And who's sending it?
R2.
Why is R3 not sending?
Because RIP is not configured.
Not configured. So now R1, R2 is sending it.
Yes.
Before, when R2 was sending it with this value, right? So R1 would say whatever is the next hop is exactly from where I am getting the update.
Yes.
And where am I getting the update? I am getting from 10.0.0.2. And hence it would say the next hop is this.
Yes.
Hmm? But now R2 is sending an update to R1 with this value. So that gives an indication to R1 that for this route, which route? Network. I have to use the next hop as this. So this is something like this that you are saying, telling Madhya that if you want to learn networking, then you should not learn from me, you should learn from Sachin sir.
Yes.
Something like that. Alright? You are telling about something that you know to that other person, but please don't ask me, take somebody else's advice.
Yes.
Something like that. So that's what R2 is saying. For reaching out 20 network, please use this.
Okay. Yes, got it.
Right? If it had left this field blank, that is all zeros, what would it be? That please use me only.
Yes.
Understand?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Okay, cool. Can you check the time?
3 minutes, sir.
Okay, so we'll pause. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. You had another doubt you were asking, right? Before after the break. Was this clear?
Yes, sir. Update time.
Great. Okay. So we'll break now. Let me take a backup from this. Then we'll do the route tag. We'll do the configuration part, and we'll do the difference of the different. We'll do the difference, and we'll do the understanding of the IP address, destination IP address, and destination MAC address.